Good morning, everyone. It's Fred from Fred's Garage. So it's a beautiful day out. I think we'll do a project on the Maverick. As a lot of people who have been following my channel know, I leather wrapped my steering wheel on my Bronco, and it came out pretty good. And my Maverick LX doesn't have a leather wrapped steering wheel, so we're going to do that today. It's a little bit different than the Bronco because I have to take the airbag out. The steering wheel's different. And the kit I got was for a 2020 Ford Escape. Okay, so I went on eBay and I bought this kit for a 2020 Ford Escape, and it was about 30 bucks, and it's cut to fit the Maverick steering wheel. Supposedly the Maverick and the Escape have the same steering wheel. So let me show you real quick the Bronco steering wheel, how it came out. I'm very pleased with it. It's been about 3 months now. And it's some time consuming job, but it's very, very worth it. So the leather came out good. It came out real nice, tucked in all around. And we'll hopefully get that same result with the Maverick. We'll see. But let's pull the Bronco out, bring the Maverick in, and let's leather wrap the steering wheel. Hey everyone, so my Maverick is a 2023 LX hybrid. So because it's a hybrid, the battery's under the seat here. So we're gonna first disconnect the battery. As I said, on the Bronco, I didn't have to take the airbag out. I could tuck everything in, but the way the steering wheel is made on the Maverick, I'm gonna have to take the airbag off. So it's not something I'm really looking forward to doing, but I gotta do it. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lift this seat up. And your battery's located right here, okay? Let me bring you in a little closer so you can see better. The first thing we're gonna do is disconnect the 12-volt battery. In this box here is your 12-volt battery, not the hybrid battery, okay? This is the same battery every car you've ever had has. Usually it's always been under the hood. Ford moved it back here, okay? This battery controls the airbags, the directionals, the power windows, the radio. Because I gotta take the airbag off, I wanna be on the safe side. I wanna make sure there's no power going to the airbag, okay? So I'm gonna disconnect this. I'm just letting you know this stuff this is just my way of doing it, okay? You need to be careful and do your own research. So we're gonna open this up, and you got your positive lead and your negative lead, okay? There's one bolt right here. You're gonna loosen that. All we need is a 10mm socket. You could use a wrench if you don't have a socket. And we're gonna take the negative off, okay? And by twisting it, it'll loosen this mount here. You don't wanna take the whole nut off. You just wanna loosen it, and that'll wiggle like that. And we're gonna pick it up, and we're gonna tuck it to the side, okay? And I have this rag. I'm just gonna stick this rag here just to be on the safe side, so when I'm going in and out of the car, it doesn't bounce back on and touch, okay? All right, let's show you how to take the airbag off. All right, first thing we want to do is we want to have the steering wheel in, say, the 12 and 6 degree angle, okay? Behind the steering wheel here, there's a little indent, okay? You can feel it with your finger. The only way you can get to it is when it's up here, okay? We're gonna use a little teeny weeny screwdriver, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow the angle in. There's gonna be a little notch. So make believe that my finger's the angle. We're gonna follow it in. There'll be a little notch, and then we're gonna push that notch down. When we push that notch down, it'll release the airbag, okay? Then we're gonna spin it, and we're gonna do it the other side. So, screwdriver. Well, okay. First problem, screwdriver's too big. I got a smaller screwdriver, so you need a real teeny one that's tight. So let's see if it works. We're gonna go in there, find the notch, feed it down, find the pull, and there goes the airbag. It just popped out. See it? Perfect. So now let's turn the steering wheel. Same thing. Find the notch, screwdriver, push it down. And there's the airbag. Came off. Alright, now the airbag came off, okay? So I'll turn the steering wheel straight and we'll pull the airbag out. There she is, okay? Let's see if you can make sure you see what's going on in there, okay? Come on in. That's what the back of the airbag looks like, okay? This one up here is your horn button. We're gonna disconnect that. And then these two yellow ones are your airbags, okay? You pull up on these orange tabs and they'll come out, okay? So all you gotta do is pull up on those orange tabs and they'll come out, all right? First thing here is the horn. There's a little tab right here. I'm gonna push the tab in and then push it down. Push it in and push it down. And then with my thumb, we get rid of the horn wire. Horn wire is out, okay? Let's get that out of the way. Now we have these two yellow ones, okay? You're gonna just stick a screwdriver right under the tip of that and you're gonna pull it up like that. See how that popped out? Let me show you on the other one. All right, make sure you get a good view of that there. There's a little yellow tab. Stick my screwdriver in that little orange connector, work it, and it's gonna pop up just like so. And once they pop up, they should come right off. So we pulled the orange tabs up. Okay, they're both up. So I suggest you take a picture so you know which one goes where. The one with the blue is gonna go under the sticker that has no red mark, and the one with no blue, baby blue, is gonna go under the sticker with the two red marks. So we're just gonna grab it and wiggle it out, okay? There you go, off. You're gonna grab it, wiggle it. It's hard to do with one hand. Come on. And there she goes, okay? Now our airbag is disconnected. We're gonna put it on the seat and get it out of the way. Now let's work on this cluster. All right. So now we want to take this bezel piece off. It's all one piece. You got to be real careful for this chrome piece. This chrome piece will easily break, okay? I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to try not to break it. If it does break, it's not the end of the world, but we don't want to break anything, okay? So fingers, we're going to put our fingers in here, thumb on the steering wheel, and we're going to pull it out. And see how easy it popped out? And then we're going to do the top. Same with here, fingers, thumb, pull it. There she goes. Okay, now inside here, follow my pick. I have this pick. Inside here, you see these two chrome pieces. These two chrome pieces are connected to this, okay? And these two chrome pieces, they're really cheap plastic and they're gonna break easy. So we wanna try to pull them out and pull the whole thing down. And then we'll disconnect the switches, okay? Well, with the pick, I'm just gonna pull it up. Try to get it out. Okay, we got that one. I'm gonna stick the pick underneath it. There's a groove in there that it fits in. Pull it up, pull it out. All right, we got that one. And now this whole thing's gonna, there's two notches right here. This whole thing's gonna just come straight down. I'm gonna use something to help me pry it down. And we're gonna pry it down. Come on, baby. Don't wanna break anything. These are disconnected, 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 disconnected. Okay, and now we're gonna pry it right down. Perfect, she's coming. Use this little thing, get it down past that. Okay, we are off. Now let's figure out how to get these switches out. There's two plugs right here for these switches, okay? We gotta unplug them, so let's see. Okay. Take a good look at this plug. On the bottom here, there's a tab. Get you some light on that subject. You see the tab? You just gotta push the tab in with your finger, okay? And that'll pull the plug out. So we got the black one goes to the left, and there's a white one right here. You can see it right there. There's the tab. I'm gonna get my finger in that tab, and I'm gonna push that tab up. And there she goes, okay? Let me give you a better look. There's the tab right there. Here's the tab, okay? You gotta get your finger under there and just push that tab or use a little screwdriver or whatever, okay? So now we got all the wires off. And this all stayed in one piece and nothing broke, okay? Do I want to do this 10 times? Nope, because I got lucky. I told you, more than 50% of the times you're gonna break these little tabs, okay? But that's okay, you just put it back on and click it all back on, all right? You won't be able to really notice it once you get it together, but be gentle because you don't want to break those, okay? You just want this to go on nice, okay? So there's your switches, there's the whole bezel. So we're gonna get that out of the way. Now, the reason I took that all apart is because the Bronco, I could easily tuck the leather in. Here I can't, and I have to kind of mold it around here, and it's easier for me to sew it. So once we get that all done, we'll put that bezel back on, okay? I'm gonna show you the kit, and first thing I'm gonna do is get some alcohol and a rag, and we're gonna clean this because this has had like 2 months of my fingerprints on it, because we're gonna use some 2-way tape, okay? All right, let's do that. So I got some alcohol on a paper towel, and I'm just gonna clean the rim here, clean the steering wheel, because I'm gonna use double-sided tape, and I know I got all kinds of grease and whatever's in there. So I get that clean. This is the kit that came from eBay. It's got the 2020 Ford Escape steering wheel cover, double-sided tape, some thread, a little plastic tool, and some needles, okay? And I have a razor blade here. So let's look at this here. This is made for the Escape, okay? So you're gonna have a top and a bottom. How you can tell where you're supposed to be is this, the smaller seams, but I know that the big piece will be in the back and these cutouts will be for the switch. This is where I put my double-sided tape, okay? And it's just to give it a little bit more support. And there's 2 pieces on the back here where my fingers are, because right here it's really gonna need it, okay? I didn't use any double-sided tape when I did my Bronco because the leather on the Bronco was real thick. The leather on the Bronco was like real thick cowhide. This is much more supple and it's much thinner. So we're just gonna use that to help hold this in place. Make sure it doesn't twist when we're driving. Whenever you use this double-sided tape, do yourself a huge favor and do like I did. Leave these little tabs. If you can see, I got these little tabs started, okay? Because you put that stuff on and you try to get that tab started in a small space, it's impossible. So this way here, you can at least grab it, pull it, okay? So we're gonna get our cover. The bigger end on the top, shorter end, so you can see with the seams what I'm talking about. There's seams that are further apart there, and seams that are closer here. That's closer ones are gonna be the bottom. The further apart is gonna be the top. You can also tell the bottom because it has these little loops, these little half moons for that, okay? So we're gonna put that on top, get it as straight as we possibly can. They go on tight, so try not to mess up your tape and try to do one side at a time, okay? So we're gonna go just like so. Get this to this side and stretch it right over. They're tight. I know they're tight, but the tighter the better, okay? And then you want to kind of make it even. Now remember, check these. See, this one's too high, this one's too low, so we're going to move the whole thing counterclockwise a little bit until we get that leather right where we want it on the switch. Okay, so that one looks okay, that one looks okay. Pull it back a little. Okay, and then once we get the cover on it, it'll hold it in there, okay? And it's gonna look pretty good because this is cut for the steering wheel. It's a little bit, still a little bit high, so we're gonna go, nope, that was too much. Perfect, perfect, okay? And you can work out some of these wrinkles later on once you start sewing. Okay. Now, if it didn't have these tabs, like if you watch my Bronco video, if it didn't have these tabs here, these cutouts, I like to start from the front and work my way down. That makes the stitching look nice. But I can't really do that here because these tabs have to be in the perfect position, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start with these two, right? I'm gonna put them together and I'm gonna start with those two. And here's my needle and my thread, okay? So I'm gonna give you a trick about the thread. I'll show you. But what you want, when you take it off the spool, it comes in these little spools. You see the little spool? It comes in a little spool. When you take it out, it's gonna be all curled. So you wanna tie this to something, and then you wanna just stretch the whole thread, okay? And that'll get it nice and straight and get that curl out of it, because otherwise you'll be dealing with that curl the whole time. And this is half the spool, okay? That spool is probably about 25 feet. I don't think I'm gonna need that much. And plus, working with 25 feet's a dog, so it'd be hard. So we're just gonna do that, okay? So let's save my knot. Here's my knot. I triple knotted it because I've always gone underneath to hide the knot, but I want the needle to go through the knot. I don't want the knot to come out. So I'm gonna put the needle through the knot once I get it on, and I'm gonna tie another knot so I know that this isn't gonna go. Because once you start sewing this, if this knot lets go, it's gonna unravel the whole thing, and it's impossible for you to get it back on, okay? So I'll show you a little bit here to start. I'll finish it and then I'll come down and show you these ones, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna go in the back here, I'm gonna go start from the back, and I'm gonna take my first piece that's sticking out, which is right here, okay? But we're gonna go from the top to top. So this is where I'm gonna put my knot. Now I'll show you. We're gonna get that started. Okay, bring that up. And on this first one, I'm gonna save these two, and I'm gonna pull the slack end all the way out of there, okay? Because I'm gonna knot this one to the leather. Okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my needle, take my knot, try not to poke your fingers 12 times, stick the needle through the knot. These are blunt needles, they're not sharp needles, okay? So it's not like a sewing needle that go right through you. So see that? I don't know if you can see it, hopefully you can. It's going right through the knot, okay? We're gonna pull that through, and we're gonna take the slack end out. And now I know that that knot is not coming apart, okay? And then I'm gonna pull it in and get it nice and tight. And here's where I'm gonna start my sewing. So look, I know it's probably hard to see with the light. Let's see if I can get you any more light on this subject, but you see how the factory stitched it right here? So we're gonna go underneath that, okay? Pull it through, and trust me, this is gonna take you a few hours, okay? This isn't gonna be a quick little thing, but you can easily do it. And what I'm gonna do is go through here, and now I'm gonna go through the top. I wanna go through the top of the other side, okay? So you see how I'm through the top? And then when I tighten them up, I'll have a nice, see there's a lot of slack in, it's tough with all this extra. Okay. And then when I tighten it up, they'll be nice and together, okay? That's what I want. And then when I put the cover back on, they'll be nice and tight. And we'll put a little glue under there at the very end to make sure that these edges are perfectly secure, okay? Now, remember I told you in the back here, I put this double-sided tape, and now I'm gonna peel that one off. Boop. And then I'm gonna peel this one off, and that's why I got the tag end. See how easy they come off with the tag end? And I'm gonna get this one fit perfectly where I want it, which is right inside the groove, okay? That's where I want it. And then get that wrinkle out of there. That See how I got it right inside where the bezel's gonna, the switch bezel's gonna hold it? That's what I want. And that tape will hold it. And now I'm gonna, with my fingers, I'm gonna massage in the back. And then we're gonna tighten this up. So it gets nice and tight. Actually, okay, so now I got the tape off. I'm gonna pull these two together, get them nice and tight where I want them. Make sure they're nice and curved, and I'm gonna push the tape in so it'll hold it in, okay? All right, so we're gonna start sewing all the way around, and I'll bring you back when I get the top done, okay? All right. Okay, so let's do that. So let's put this piece on top, stretch it over. These always stretch over hard. Get the steering wheel straight. Try to get that as straight, and just look at your switches. Okay, so you see this one's lower. So we're gonna move that one up. Move it over clockwise, counterclockwise. And let's see. Now at this point, it's only one bolt if you want to change the whole steering wheel. If you go out and buy a whole steering wheel on eBay, that would probably be a lot easier for you. You could do that. And those are good. See, this is where my problem was. This is why I had to take the bezel off, because you see how much leather I got there? I can't tuck it in. You can't tuck it in, you gotta trim it. So it's right up against it. And there she is. She looks good. She has the pieces here cut out for the thumb marks. Good. And it has this threaded piece. You see how it's already sewn? The needle's gonna go through here, grab the one from the other side and come back, okay? So we're gonna go through to the other side and back. That's gonna take a while. I'm gonna get this started and then I'll show you how it goes, okay? And the double-sided tape, I'm just gonna put double-sided tape on the seam. So when I close it, it'll have the tape to help hold it, okay? Because this is a little loose here and I don't want it to wiggle around in my hands once I get it on there. All right, let me get this started and then I'll come in and show you how to do it. All right, so I moved this inside for a few minutes. I want to spend 5 to 10 minutes on showing people how to stitch the steering wheel cover, okay? I know that in the Maverick it's dark and it's hard to really see it. So I have this old steering wheel here, and we're going to cover it with a piece of vinyl, and I'm going to show you the technique. If you feel comfortable with the stitching, then feel free to fast forward it 10 minutes to the end and we'll see the final product. But if you want to see exactly how the process works, just spend 5 minutes and watch it. Also, you got nothing to lose. Give it a try. If you don't do a good job on your first attempt, just take it all the stitching out and do it again. It's a $30 leather steering wheel cover. A new steering wheel is probably $200-300. So let me bring you up over my shoulder and I'll show you about the stitching. Okay. So I got this piece of vinyl, and you can see that it's stitched the way your steering wheel cover would be stitched, okay? So on this old steering wheel, we're going to put it across like so. And we're going to get it exactly where we want it, okay? Get it exactly where we want it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of tape. I'm going to put the tape on the seams. And I'm going to bring this in and get it nice and tight and close together. Close together on the tape, okay? And get the tape to help hold it while I stitch it. I'm also going to get little pieces of tape. You'll see it in the video. I'm going to put them here, here, and then I'm putting them on the back. 2 pieces on the back up here and down here, okay? because the Maverick has that big plastic piece right there. So let's start off and I'll show you how I'm going to stitch it. And another thing about the tape, when I said make a tag end, I got a piece here that doesn't have any tape on it. So when I put all the tape on and I have the cover on, if I don't have that tag end, it's going to be virtually impossible to get that paper off the tape. But with the tag end, I can just grab it, pull it off, and then I can get my cover to fit on there perfectly, okay, how I want it. So now on the needle and thread, I'm going to show you on this big piece of string here what I mean about making the triple knots, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 knots. Real simple, just around your finger, 1 knot, okay? They're not going to be big because the thread's that small, but this is just to show you better. And then another one, I'm going to try to get them one on top of the other. See how I got that one on top of the other? Okay? And then on the real thread, I'm going to do 3. And this is too big to do 3, but I'm going to do 3. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my needle. So make believe there's a needle here, and I'm going to stick the needle through the knot. I'll show you with this needle. I want the needle to go through the knot, okay? I'm going to feed the needle through the knot. So you see how that is? The rope's going back and going through the knot. Now, why do I do that? It's because my initial knot, I want to be 100% sure it's not coming through the leather. It's not going to poke through the leather, and it's not going to come off. Because if it comes off and you've already spent a half hour coming to here, that's not going to be fun, and it's going to be real hard to get that back on, okay? So now let me show you on the thread. So I got the triple knot, and what I'm going to do is I'm either going to do 2 things. One, I'm going to find a hole that I can poke the needle through. So I'm going to find a hole I can poke the needle through. If I can't, I'm going to find a little place where I can stick the needle on the thread under the bottom. I'm going to find a little place to stick the needle through the thread on the bottom. So I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to find a hole, and I'm going to come through, okay? So I'm going to come through. Then I'm going to pull my thread through. I'm going to get my knot, and I'm going to get my needle, and I'm going to stick my needle through the knot, okay? This way here, it's not going to come apart. Feed that through, okay? Now here's a really important part. I don't want to feel that knot. I don't want to see that knot. I don't want nothing to do with that knot. So what I'm going to do is make sure that when I feed it through, my knot is going to be underneath the leather, okay? So I'm going to feed it through and get that knot underneath the leather. And if you see there, the knot's in there and you're not going to see it, okay? Try to just tuck it in there, get it as close to the inside as you can. Okay, now, this is the stitching technique. We're going to go over and through. So when I say over and through, we're going to go over and through. And then we're going to go over and through. So let me show you real quick. I'm going to move this up so you can see it better on the steering wheel. All right, so I moved it up so you can see it better, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go over and back, over and back. So let me show you. I'm going to go like so. We're going to grab that piece. I'm going to go over it and come back towards me. Grab that piece. Tighten it up. Over. Grab that piece. Tighten it up. Over. So I'm always going from the outside in. That's how I like to do it. If you're good at sewing, you can make all kinds of stitches. Okay? This is the only one that I really know and the only one that I really like. Over and down. Okay? So we're going to go from the outside in. Outside in. And we're just going to do that. Take our time. It's going to take you a while, at least an hour. And don't rush it. You get tired, just walk away from it for a little while, okay? Because you don't want to, when you get tired is when you make mistakes, okay? So then when I have it stitched and I get to the end, I'm going to go underneath and I'm going to tie my knot. I'm going to go underneath, okay? And then I'm going to try to get it and tie a knot and try to get that knot underneath, okay? And then once I get that knot underneath, I'm going to double knot it. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go through my loop I just did and then make another knot. All right, going to come through, go through that loop and pull it up and make another knot underneath. And I'm going to try to hide the knot the best I can so my knot, when I'm done, is underneath the leather, okay? I want my knot to end up here, here, and here so I can cover it with the piece. Cover it with the trim, okay? I hope that came out good on video. The final part I want to tell you is down here. When you get down here, you get the big chrome bezel, okay? The one you don't want to break. You want to notch it like this because that's going to fit right in there, okay? And then once it fits in there, there's going to be 2 holes. I use these scissors. There's going to be 2 holes on the Maverick where the bezel fits in, okay? When you look at the bottom of the bezel, there's 2 chrome prongs. They're going to push into the hole. So you're going to get this right up to the plastic, and you're going to notch these 2 little holes, notch the leather, okay? Just notch the leather. Use this, use a razor blade. I use the razor blade, but notch the leather. Get it so the chrome notches on the bezel will fit right into the holes. And when it does, that chrome's going to hold all this in there, okay? But remember, before I put that on, I'm putting some tape, okay? And then when you get to the back here and you can't stitch it, when you get to the back of the Maverick steering wheel and you can't stitch it, you want 2 pieces of tape because you want that to help hold it on the plastic, and you stitch it where you can, okay? You're going to stitch them together right here. But on the back here, you want that to hold it because you don't want it to bubble up, okay? All right. Hopefully that helped people who aren't comfortable with sewing. Take your time. If you want to do different patterns of thread, you can. I'm going to show you a close-up of what it looks like when it's done. And just give it a shot. Trust me. You'll love having the leather steering wheel over the plastic steering wheel, okay? Let's go out to the car and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, you can see in this picture how the thread sews the other threads together, okay? So you go over and through, and this is what you want to end up with. And don't worry, because if you mess it up, you just take the thread out and start again. All right, everyone. That's the finished product. It's got a few wrinkles in it, which I can work out, massage them out, but otherwise it's came out pretty good. You can see down here how it's tucked in good, and it's tucked in real well around that. And like I said, I'm going to try to work out these wrinkles, give it some time and a little bit of heat. And if you spend more time, you can get it even tighter, okay? And you can see on the top here how nice it came out. But I'm very pleased with it. It feels so much better. It covers the thumb knots. And as I said, this is a 2020 Ford Escape steering wheel cover, okay? So until they come out with a Maverick steering wheel cover, this is the one. Everything pushed back in. Remember these notches? You got to push that up first, and then you pop it all in. And then the airbag, plug it all in, and it just pops right back in there, okay? Nice and easy. Give it a shot. You got nothing to lose. As I said, if you don't like it, you can always just take it off, okay? All right. I'm going to tell you one last thing before we go, and we'll end this video. Well, everyone, I hope you liked that video. I hope it helped somebody out, and thanks for coming back. If you did like it and you like more of this kind of videos, please hit the like button, subscribe, the notification button. Try to do, honestly, probably 2 to 3 a month. So behind me, you see my Bronco, okay? So you knew it was going to happen. Somebody sideswiped me. Luckily for me, the Bronco has these monster 35-inch tires, and all he hit was the tire, okay? So there's no claim on the Bronco. But because I live here in Florida, it's his word versus my word. It's no fault state, okay? So what I'm going to do is I used my Ford Pass points, and I ordered a dash cam, okay? So it's supposed to be coming in tomorrow, and then together we're going to try to figure out how to get that dash cam run from the mirror to the OBD2 port, okay? Because I want Sentry mode. Sentry mode is when I park the Bronco and I'm not there at a store or at work or whatever, I can see all the people that are coming up to it, okay? So, yep, hopefully I'll post that by next Friday, okay, guys? Well, thank you very much, and everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.